On the night of March 8, 2014, a Boeing 777 carrying 239 people lifted off from Kuala Lumpur, bound for Beijing. The weather was calm. The flight crew experienced. The plane, one of the safest ever built. And yet, Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 would never arrive. What began as a routine overnight flight became one of the most baffling mysteries in aviation history, a puzzle that remains unsolved to this very day. Tonight, we trace the final known moments of that aircraft, follow the search that spanned oceans, and explore the theories, from the rational to the unthinkable. This is Hidden Chapters, and this is the story of Flight MH370. It's 12:41 a.m. Flight MH370 takes off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport. The destination, Beijing. On board, 227 passengers, 12 crew members. People from 14 different countries, families, business travelers, students, all expecting to wake up in China by sunrise. The pilot in command, Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, a respected veteran with 18,000 hours of flight experience. His co-pilot, First Officer Farik Hamid, just 27 years old, completing one of his final training flights. At 1:19 a.m., as the aircraft crosses Malaysia's east coast, air traffic control contacts the cockpit. "Good night, Malaysian 370. Those are the last known words ever heard from the plane. Moments later, the plane's transponder goes dark. No distress call, no mayday, just silence. Within seconds, Flight MH370 vanishes from civilian radar. Controllers assume it's a technical glitch. They've seen it before. But minutes pass. Then, an hour. Still, nothing. When it fails to appear in Vietnamese airspace, alarms go off. Search teams scramble. Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand, all begin scanning the skies. But MH370 is gone. Then, something strange. Military radar, operating separately from civilian channels, picks up an unidentified aircraft, a plane turning sharply west, heading back across Malaysia. It's MH370. But why? Instead of continuing north toward China, the jet makes a wide U-turn, cutting across the peninsula and out toward the Andaman Sea. Analysts later discover that during this period, the plane made several deliberate course changes, not random, controlled, as if someone in the cockpit knew exactly what they were doing. Around 2:22 a.m., military radar loses contact, the last known position, somewhere over the Andaman Sea. But that's not the end of the story. The plane's engines, made by Rolls-Royce, continue to send automated hourly pings to a satellite over the Indian Ocean for nearly 7 more hours. These faint digital handshakes, known as satellite pings, were the only clues to MH370's fate. They suggested that the aircraft flew south into one of the most remote stretches of ocean on Earth. Within days, the largest search operation in aviation history begins. 26 nations join forces. Hundreds of ships, aircraft, and satellites scour the seas. Families wait in hotel rooms, staring at screens, every update a sliver of hope, every silence a heartbreak. The Indian Ocean is vast, deeper than Everest is tall, with currents that can carry debris thousands of miles. Days turn to weeks, weeks to months, and then a discovery. In 2015, over a year after the disappearance, a piece of the aircraft's wing, a flaperon, washes ashore on the island of Réunion near Madagascar. Soon, other fragments follow: interior panels, landing gear, parts of the fuselage, scattered across the western Indian Ocean. But the wreckage tells a strange story. The pieces show no signs of fire or explosion. Instead, a clean break, consistent with a high-speed impact with water. Still, the main fuselage and the black boxes remain missing. What really happened aboard Flight MH370? No one knows for certain, but theories, there are many. Some believe there was a catastrophic mechanical failure, a sudden loss of pressure that left everyone unconscious, the plane flying on autopilot until it ran out of fuel. Others suspect hijacking, though no group ever claimed responsibility. Then there's the most controversial theory of all, that the disappearance was deliberate. Investigators discovered that Captain Zahari had plotted a similar flight path on his home simulator, one that ended deep in the Indian Ocean. Was it practice or coincidence? The evidence is circumstantial, but to some, it points to a haunting conclusion that the captain may have turned his plane into a ghost ship. Behind every theory are 239 stories, families who waited, hoped, and never got answers. In Beijing, relatives gathered for months, lighting candles, holding signs that read, "Find MH370." In Malaysia, vigils filled the nights with prayers and tears. The grief became a kind of silence, one that mirrored the void where the plane vanished. By 2018, after covering over 120,000 square kilometers of seabed, the official search was called off. The cost, over $150 million. The result, nothing conclusive. Ocean Infinity, a private company, tried again, using advanced underwater drones. They too found nothing. It's as if the ocean had swallowed the truth itself. Over the years, the story of MH370 has drawn journalists, scientists, even conspiracy theorists. Some claim it was shot down accidentally during a military exercise. Others say it landed secretly on a remote island. None of these theories have proof, but each reflects our refusal to accept the simplest answer, that something so big could just disappear. Today, Flight MH370 remains a modern myth, a riddle of technology, chance, and fate. It changed aviation forever. New tracking systems, new safety measures, and new awareness of just how fragile certainty can be. But for the families, the only certainty is loss. In 2019, Malaysia declared all 239 souls presumed dead. Yet for many, closure never came. Somewhere, beneath miles of black water, lies the answer: a silent aircraft, a frozen moment in time. Perhaps one day, currents will shift and truth will surface. Until then, the story of Flight MH370 remains suspended between sea and sky, a reminder of how easily the known can vanish into the unknown. This was Hidden Chapters. Subscribe and join us as we uncover more mysteries lost to history and to time.